Hey people, what's going on? So I just want to show off some of the purchases I made when I was at Play and Trade earlier today, and you guys can give me your thoughts on them. So this most recent weekend, today's Monday, so the last 2 days before this one, I went home and I plugged in my PlayStation 2 and it still works. And I was a little surprised because my PlayStation 2 was bought shortly after launch, 13 years ago, 13 and a half years ago. So it's right around 13 years old. All three controllers still work, even though two of them were bought with the system 13 and a half years ago. So I was a little surprised that I was fortunate enough to have all that stuff still working. Dug up some old memory cards. They worked. And the reason I did all this was because I recently discovered a store near my house called Play and Trade. And basically, Play and Trade is a game specialty store like GameStop. And the difference is that GameStop is focused on the newer games, newer titles, newer consoles. Play and Trade will deal in any and everything. So you go into my Play and Trade at least, you got your PS3, your Wii U, your Xbox 360 titles up on the shelves. You got plenty of those. You got the ability to pre-order releases that aren't out yet, and secure your copy of the game before it comes out. But if you go a couple steps in, you'll see Atari 2600 cartridges. You'll see PlayStation 1 discs. You'll see NES cartridges, N64 games, Game Boy games. Other than, I guess, PC games, which they didn't really have much of, they pretty much deal in anything and everything they can get their hands on, so it's a great retro store. Now, there aren't Play and Trades everywhere, but I know there's at least one in here, Washington State, and I've heard of at least one in New Jersey. So they span the nation, and it's not that I dislike GameStop, because GameStop is basically the monopoly right now on game specialty stores. I've used GameStop many times. I don't mind it, but I'm a little frustrated by the fact that they don't have older retro games. So with a place like GameStop, if I miss out on a game when it first comes out and don't get a chance to play it for several years, it might be gone from there and I'll never see it again. So you can obviously order games online, play a little bit of, taking a little bit of a risk there. It's a little harder to deal with problems you might run into, but I want to support a brick and mortar place, an actual facility, even if it means paying a little bit more. So I stopped by there today for the first time with the intent to buy, proving that my PlayStation 2 still works. That means I can go ahead and buy PlayStation 2 games that I've always wanted to play but never had the chance. So here's the haul. First, we have Dark Cloud on the PlayStation 2. I've never played any of these games, but I've heard this one was pretty good. At the very least, it's interesting. We'll see what I end up thinking of it. I'm probably not going to get a chance to play any of these games for a couple weeks, but might as well buy them before someone else does. Next up, we have Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories for the PlayStation 2. I'm a fan of the first two. I think they're both good games, and I have not played Chain of Memories, so made sense to me. We have the original Killzone on the PlayStation 2. Heard it was just a decent shooter, but $9, whatever. It should be alright. Red Dead Revolver, PlayStation 2. Again, not the greatest game. Decent game. Obviously, they kind of abandoned the franchise, and their sequel, quote-unquote, was not really a sequel that they made with Red Dead Redemption, which was a great game, but I want to play Revolver before I play Redemption, so I figured let's pick this one up too. And I don't know how to pronounce this one, but I'm excited for this one. I think it's going to be good. La Pucelle Tactics, PlayStation 2 game. I'm a big fan of strategy RPGs. Final Fantasy Tactics is one of my favorite games ever. Disgaea 1, 2, 3, and 4 are masterpieces. I love them. And I'm not expecting this game to measure up to those 5 that I just mentioned. but I think it'll be a good time. And then we have a couple of PlayStation 1 titles that I picked up. First, we have Parasite Eve. Okay, the title is blocked off by the sticker, which is unfortunate, but it's Parasite Eve on the PlayStation 1. Heard it was a very interesting game. It's got RPG elements. It's got apparently survival horror elements. There's even a demo in here for Xenogears, which I have not played yet, which I feel bad about, but one of these days it's going to happen. So maybe I'll start with the demo. I don't know. But Parasite Eve, and the last game I bought was this one cost less than $1. Probably because it's not in great condition in terms of the case, but it's a Syphon filter on the PlayStation. Heard it's a nice little stealth game. I remember it was kind of a big deal when it first came out, and they made some sequels, so it was a fairly successful game. So yeah, that is my haul. I have not played any of these 7 games yet. I'm not going to have a chance to for a couple of weeks because I still have to beat Disgaea 4, and I may have the opportunity to play The Last of Us next weekend or the weekend after. So I'm not sure, but these are the 7 games I got. According to my research, I got a reasonable price for them. Not a steal or anything like that, but pretty reasonably priced. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Play and Trade, and let me know what you think about these games, and hope to continue to be able to support them in the years to come. Thank you.